decided to try this approach here in Los Angeles, using 7 years of standardized test data that we got from the school district. In the coming weeks, we're going to be writing about what we found with this analysis. And starting next week, we'll be posting a database online in which parents can look up their teachers.
What do you see in the data? What do you see that's working with the district and our local district here?
Well, I don't know if you see what's working when you look at data. I mean, the data is really raw, and I think that teaching and education it's about people, and the data is kind of cold. So it's more about, like today, for example, I'm here visiting classrooms, looking at the interaction between teachers and students, and I find that more useful than just numbers. I mean, the data is important, but data alone doesn't, I think, indicate what's working. Anything that teachers and students can do together that encourages students to think outside the box or to play around with different ways of solving problems. I don't think our schools are where any of us want them to be. I don't think that's controversial. I think that there's room for improvement across the board, everywhere. Failing is a harsh word, and failing is a blanket statement. And is it true that across the board, across the nation, in California and LAUSD, that there's nothing good happening anywhere? No, of course not.
You know, I've seen a lot of growth. I've experienced a lot of good things. The unfortunate thing with us, though, is that the naysayers' voice is so loud, they always overplay the good that's happening. But nobody's talking, I don't know if holistically is the right word, but at the whole thing with kids, because it's more than just a classroom teacher. It's a community. It's all the people in the community. Parents have got to answer. The parents point to the teacher and say, you didn't do this for my child. The parents have to be sure the kids do homework, and the kid can't come to school and disrespect the teacher and the administrator, and it's our fault. They have a responsibility too. The student has to bring something to the table. Nothing happens if I come every day and I'm looking, teacher says do something, then I don't want to do it. So until all of this happens and we stop pointing the finger, it's your fault, it's my fault, it's school's fault, you know, we have got to get together to move the agenda for kids. And I think that's the only answer there is.
When we're talking about value added, we know it's a flawed system. It doesn't correctly gauge the quality of an education program or the quality of a teacher. We know that there are thousands of teachers who've been labeled below standard. One of the teachers at 6th Avenue Elementary, who was judged as ineffective, was judged by her administrators, her peers, students, parents, and even UCLA thought so highly of her that they use her to train other teachers. Yet, by this flawed methodology called value added, she was gauged as lacking in skills. The discussion should be, do we want to create students who are good or not so good at test taking, or do we want our students to have a well-rounded, whole child approach to education, one that is culturally and academically enriching, that requires a student to develop critical thinking and problem-solving skills, one that encompasses arts and science in elementary school and social studies. I mean, that's what I want for my children and my grandchildren. I don't want the dumbed-down curriculum for the purposes of ending the year with a standardized test.